Hey, it's Ed here, and today on Contradict Capital's video, we're going to be taking a look at technical analysis for Ethereum with Elliott Wave Theory. Before getting into the charts, I wanted to mention that Contradict Capital Discord is currently for free for a limited amount of time before it gets turned into a paid Discord group. Make sure to take this time and see if you find value in there. But without further ado, let's jump into the charts of ETH. So overall, on daily, again, we had this massive dump since the highs of around November 2021. Since then, again, we had a very nice looking three-way structure down into the lows of June 2022. Since then, we had a couple of different ideas for this structure from the low of June. We had a bullish case where we had this as a five-way structure coming up into the highs of either wave A or wave 1. Or we would have this as three ways coming in here, three ways into X, and then three ways into wave Y, giving us a three-way structure instead, a more complex correction. But again, those are the two options. So both are still on the open. We did have divergence, which would favor more of the bullish count. And if, again, this is indeed a five-way structure, we need a partner leg for it. So since then, again, we had a dump down, correcting this whole move, and the pivot, I think, can be found here at around November 2022, around $1,080 area. Since then, again, we've had more of an impulsive move up higher, and we can today be looking at that structure. So let's jump into that 1 hour time frame and take a look at the count that we've had. The first structure here definitely was not very good looking for ETH. It was a bit better for Bitcoin. However, there was chance where this was a three-way structure and this was another three-way structure. This definitely felt like more of a five-way structure. However, there is definitely ways of labeling this in three ways as well, fitting the extensions very nicely in that department. But still, at this point, there is a way, of course, of labeling this as a diagonal as well. It's very ugly, but as the extensions here rose so much, we have to be accepting this as the count. From there on out, again, we had a massive move here, or very fast at least, and then we consolidated quite a bit for that wave too. Not really giving us too good of a structure. However, again, we spent a lot of time sideways. So that gives us an alteration on the wave 4 that should not be this much of a sideways structure. But since then, again, we had a potential of having these as 1-2 structures to be made and then move upwards with these 3s and 4s getting created. Now this was again 1-2 here, so we would be looking for a partner leg for that correction, which would be in here, and this could be labeled as in three-way structure as an ABC. So that's what we have done here, and this would give us alteration, this being a very sideways structure here on wave 2, and this being a bit more faster wave 4, at least the dumps here, this and this part. But again, that would be giving us that wave 4 of subminuet, and then we'd be looking for a last leg up here, which I've labeled up into the tops of 1680 around January 20th. This would also end our third wave of this structure over here. And why third and not an ABC is just based on the extensions that we have. Again, we went beyond the 1.618 here, which turns the more probabilities towards the third wave instead of a bearish targets. So that's why we have this as more of a 1, 2, 3 instead. After that point, again, we created another potential three-way structure down here, another three-way structure here, having this as a decently clear five-way structure. And of course, as we have now come down below it, we can't have this as a start of something, but instead of an end of something. And at this point, we would have it something like this. Then we'd be looking for a C wave. Why C wave is because, again, we have taken out the origin of wave A here in price, and this was again a wave B, just due to the fact that it is more common to have expanded ABCs than expanded WXYs. So after that point was created, we had another potential diagonal here, and then another three-way structure coming up. Props to Oya for pointing this out for sure. And another, this was a very clear five-way structure coming up. and another three-way structure. Another great looking opportunity here for shorting. These are again very decent looking opportunities. Again, mentioning these on Discord as well for the paid group. But yeah, this fits very well into the idea of this being a C wave at this moment. We have already gone beyond the 1.618 here, as we see, with this potential 1, 2, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming down below the 1.618 here for this possible third wave. Now we'd be looking to correct this potential third wave with this wave 4 over here. It is possible that it's done already, as we have received this three-way structure over here, but there is of course chance that we are creating another a bit larger structure here, as this was kind of swift as in three waves. So to give an alteration here, we could be looking for this as a bit larger wave 4 before a last dump down. Again, on Bitcoin we are not really expecting one more low, at least I am not on my count, but there is definitely a chance that we could be taking out these lows here, as this does not really seem too impulsive yet. Of course, this could be turning into a diagonal, and this could be done, and I've just mislabeled some of these parts. For example, wave 4 would be a bit smaller, and we would be labeling it somewhere over here. With these lows that we had here, we have already taken the liquidity down here, so there is again not too much to be taken unless we go further low. At this point, I don't expect us to go too much lower. We have already hit one of the few targets that we are here with, where we have the 38.2 just below the current price that we made during this Saturday 11th here on February. So again, there is a chance that we just take out these lows very slightly before reversing up higher. At that point again, Bitcoin does not need to be making new lows on itself, and we could be creating a bit of a different counts here overall between ETH and Bitcoin. But again, they are very similar overall. Again, if we had this pivoted as the low and wave 4 would be already in place, we could be taking a look at some of these targets here. If we are pivoting again here, we can be taking a look at some of the targets where we can be comparing this wave 1 here for that wave 5, and 1-to-1 would be again here taking out the current highs that we had. Around 1762 would be the 1-to-1 target. At this point, this 1762 would also be taking out some of the previous structures that we had here, but nothing really beyond these next highs. Of course, there is a chance that we are going to be getting an extension here, as we did not really get an extension here on third wave. Now, if we want to be labeling this as a partner leg basically for this structure over here, I feel like we have to be getting an extension here. We want to be seeing quite a large extension overall to make sure that we can have basically a good looking structure overall before possibly even turning back down again. 1-to-1 of this move paired up from here, this pivot from the November lows would be around 22.30. So again, that is quite high, 2.618 extension. Of course, that is one of the targets, but we'll see how that turns out. Of course, we're going to be just playing the smaller time frames, but again, the higher degrees are going to be making us think and have some kind of expectations overall. If we are having this kind of structure like so, it's going to be creating kind of weird looking structure like so, but of course that is possible to have that extension on 5th. Now, if we are not going to be getting that, there is of course a chance where this is not a partner leg for this structure, but instead it would be a structure, something that would be ending a count here, for example, creating some kind of structure like this, and now we'd be creating a partner leg for this one here. And again, we'll be looking for another low here to be made. If we take out these lows again, we can confirm that this is not a far-away move that is starting something. But again, if we are still staying above these highs with this structure being made, we could be creating another partner leg of this one pivoted here again. So this would be again creating a lot more sideways structure, again, just by eyeballing it, probably, let's see, a bit higher time frame. This could be turning into late summer as well. But yeah, I think that is pretty much everything I had for this video on ETH. Again, if you enjoyed it, make sure to let us know on the comments and on Discord as well. Thank you for watching and see you on the next video. Bye bye.